Well, we were pounded pretty hard last night with another rain, just what I needed. The old yard was looking real good at one time before I started working on, putting the door in the house and redoing the floor and all that crap. So I sort of let it grow, and the idea was to mow it today, but we got a gusher yesterday, so it's all wet and soaked. It beat down my garden. Some of you have been asking about the old garden. Well, I'll give you an update here. Oh, I think it was old 64 goat wanted to know how the potatoes were coming. They're coming along pretty good. Over in here still has to pop through. They're filling in a little at a time. Got one right there that just popped up overnight, and another one over there. And these have all done pretty good. We got another one that poked his little nose out overnight. They're coming through. I don't know if they'll all fill. I planted a bunch of potatoes this year, so we'll see how that goes. The biggest ones are right here. Don't ask me why. Anyways, plenty of fertilizer, plenty of new straw, all that stuff. And we'll check back maybe in another 7 to 10 days, see what's going on. The tomato plants really took a beating last night. I'm going to take these trellis clips and a string. I'm going to tie them up. I probably should have tied them up sooner. I didn't expect the storm to be quite that hard. We're expecting even more, so I got to get it tied up. And of course our horseradish, it speaks for itself. God, look how tall this thing is now. It's up to above my waist. These leaves are gigantic. Holy mackerel. And over here we've got our little old cucumbers. A couple of plants is all I wanted to plant this year. And the radishes, we're getting plenty of tops. And I can even see a few red radishes down in the dirt. I planted them in just dirt this year. No potting soil, no topsoil from Lowe's or any of that stuff. Just plain old dirt that our neighbor gave us. Over here I planted a bunch of scallions. They seem to be trying to make something out of themselves. I don't know if it's going to actually do it. It's just, if not, I'll just dig it up and plant something else in there. I don't know what, maybe more radishes, who knows. And over here, a couple of bell pepper plants. They survived and they're doing good. I'll stake those later if they grow any. And our pickling cucumbers. I want to do some pickling this year, and they're surviving too. So I pulled off all the dead leaves, and that helped a lot. So that's what's going on with the old garden. Right now, I've got to get these trellis clips with strings on these tomato plants. For those of you who have never watched the videos where I use the trellis clips, this is the trellis clip, all right? I put them up here on these bamboo crossbars to keep them there, so when I need one I don't have to keep running in the garage to get it. I just store them there and take them out as needed. And the way these things work is you put your you open it up all the way and you put your string back here in this joint where the hinge is, underneath those two tabs right there. And then let me see if I can get a little better focus here for you. You put it right there where the joint, where the hinge comes together. You put your string in there. And then, still not focusing very well. Either that or my glasses are too dirty to see. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Anyway, the string goes in there, and then you close it on the string, put it around the stalk of the tomato plant, wherever you want to put it, and close it. And that way it doesn't damage the stalk. I'll put one together here and show you. Alright, here's the string coming up. You just drape it through that joint, like I said, right there. And then you just close it around the string. Make sure your string is coming out from the top when you hook it around your tomato plant. Show you what I'm talking about here. You just take that baby, try to put it underneath a branch of some kind that'll hold up the plant. Just clip it, and then just take the old string and bring it on up and tie it to something on the top, either one of your fence wires, or in my case I tie it right to the bamboo place where I got the trellis clip out of. Well, that's all she wrote. Now keep in mind, when you tie up tomato plants, you don't want them to be the string to be so tight that there's no flexibility for the plant to move around when the wind blows and all that. The best part about these clips that I like is, well, there's two parts I like out mostly. One is you get to use the clip year after year. And secondly, as the plant comes up, you don't have to tie new strings. All you really have to do is take the another clip. Let's say it grew this high, just take another clip, put the string around it, or put it around the string like that, and then just clip it around the stalk of the taller plant and clip it together, and it'll hold it there. You can run clips all the way up the string. Of course, eventually you're going to run it, depending on how tall your plants grow, you're going to have to put some strings here, there, and that sort of thing. Especially if you get tomatoes on them, you'll need to put a few more strings and a few more clips because of the weight. So that's what's going on with the garden. Let me go ahead and finish tying up all these. I got a total of 4 plants. These are called early girls. These over here are called whoppers. No, yeah, whoppers. These are called whoppers. Never grew whoppers before. Let's see what happens. Well, that's it for now. By the way, this gives us a great opportunity for me to show you something else. See right here, the rain kind of really made these leaves droop down, and they're now touching the dirt. You don't want that. Get that crap off of there. Get those things off the dirt. Any branches on your tomato plants that touch the dirt need to be cut off or plucked off. And the reason being is, some of that dirt's got mold and all kinds of diseases in that the plant is susceptible to. And if the leaves sit down in the dirt long enough, they'll pick it up and put it through the entire plant and kill it. Get them off of there. They'll grow new branches up above. A few videos ago, I told you that they were out here paving the road, repaving it. And before they paved it, this is like the 3rd time they paved it. I didn't think it even needed it, but they did. It's election season coming up, and right after the road was paved, guess who shows up? One of our local quorum court members wanting me to vote for him. Look what I did for you, vote for me. Okay. He's a pretty good feller, actually. He and his wife are real nice folk, about our age, not my age, I guess. Anyway, before they paved it, they took a blade, and they bladed on both sides of the road. And they rolled up these furrows, almost like sod, rolls of sod. Some of them fell over into the ditch. Others rolled up, and they just left it there after they got done paving the road. So, don't leave free dirt where I'm at. I took the little wagon out there, and I picked all that crap up all the way down to the end of the road down here. Took about 4 or 5 trips, and I used it to fill in the front of my concrete area here on both aprons. That one over there, as you see sticking out, and this one. So now I have more of a slanted area. I didn't have any slant at all. Still needs a little more, but I can come up with some dirt for that later on. But right now I'm letting the rain settle it down. I'll run across it back and forth with my lawnmower. The weight of the mower will flatten it down a little bit. Help me out. Free dirt, guys. Never turn it down. Well, I've got the hardware on the door so it can be locked, and then, the handle works now. The knob, and I still have to do some more trim along here. This is the craziest wall I've ever seen. That thing down here is touching the brick. The top up here is touching the brick, and in the center is a big wide spot I can stick part of my finger behind. So the wall is bowed in. These old houses that were built back in the 60s, it was almost like the way we built our cars back then. What would happen was some local contractor would blow into an area like this where there were no houses at all, old farmland, and he would work for some realty agent who bought all the land, and they'd start throwing these houses together. And I mean, they did. They threw them together. They get a crew of bricklayers and carpenters, and they would build almost all the houses the same. There'd be a few variances in roof designs and colors of the brick, maybe, but and in the process of hurrying up and getting the homes built, make a quick profit, and get out of the area, that's basically what it was. The realty agent made his money, the carpenter and the contractor and all the plumbers, and they all made their money, and then that was it. They left. So we're stuck with what it was. So were they very, very skilled? Yeah, they were, but they didn't use that skill. That was the problem. They just threw it together, and that was the end of it. So that's why I have a wall that leans in over there. Of course, we have settlement also. But this wall here, bowed in the center like that, where it touches at the top and bottom, that was bad bricklaying right there. Anyway, what I've decided to do here on the rest of this video, it's going to rain again today. As you can see, the sky is all ready to bust open. So I can't bring out the saws and everything and cut the 4x8 sheets of plywood that I need to have cut out here. I'll have to wait until the rain clears up. Fortunately, it held off until I got the doors in. And what I'm going to do, since I haven't been answering any of your comments of late on the videos, I haven't done a verbal comment response in a couple of years, I think. So what I'm going to do is go back in, sit on the computer, give me a cup of coffee. I'm going to go down your comments, and I'll make comments as we go. Replies to your comments. How's that? Does that sound good? I like doing that, actually. I just don't want to do it all the time. It gets old after a while. So give me a chance to whip up a cup of coffee, and I'll meet you at the computer. Alright, let's go down our Mish-Mash video we had prior. This would be Mish-Mash 239, the one about the karate tournament we had in Little Rock, which I really enjoy. Those are just great things. And there's some out there who also like them. Apparently we've got 7 here that don't like them, but you know, who cares? You know, all YouTubers have somebody that doesn't like their videos, you know, and if you let that bother you, you need to get off of YouTube. We just ignore that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's see. Matter of fact, I've seen some videos that had like 20,000 dislikes, you know. The guy, that doesn't bother him. He keeps on trucking. No problem at all. Okay. Tim Doggery says, man, the level of concentration these kids have is amazing. All that noise from the PA, etc. John is and has always been a winner. Well, lately he's been winning on and off. And if he expects to go to world competition in July, he's going to have to learn to win all the time. That's the facts of life. He's going to be 18 years old in less than a year. That makes him an adult. And we don't cut slack to adults. According to I'm a Junk Collector, he said he drinks Coke. That's why he didn't get first. Next time, no Coke. Well, let me tell you how it is, Don. He didn't get first because the other guy beat him. Had nothing to do with Coke. And then he says he made a mistake of laminating a flooring in their kitchen. The stuff is crap. He's right. 100% crap. Stay away from it. And then, of course, you know, in the beginning of the video, I showed a little bit about the floor and what I was doing, tearing it up and everything. So there's a few comments about that. This fella here says he feels for me. Me too. And Sky Carl says it's always a treat watching young John. He's a true artist. Well, you know, he's to the age now where a true artist is the only way he's going to survive in this world. And Harry Hall, this is the first time I've watched one of these. Well, shame on you, Harry. There's several up there from when John was a very, very small child on up to now. And he says he can tell it's taken many years of hard work and concentration. That's true. All those kids have worked very, very hard to get where they're at. And some of them are so good. By the way, Harry, I left you, I told you if you want to get in contact with me, take the my YouTube handle, and it'll be gmail.com, okay? And send me a message. I'll get back to you. And then Ansel says it's hard to believe we've watched that kid grow up performing in tournaments. Isn't it so? There's a noise going on in the kitchen. Let me figure out what that is. Alright, it turned out to be some of those 4x8 sheets of plywood that were moving. I had them leaned up against the wall and they were making noise against the floor. But they're propped up now. A little better. Virginia McJunkin, she said she enjoyed watching. Have a nice weekend. I have a question for you, Virginia. Where are your videos? All your YouTube videos have disappeared, young lady. Where are they? And David Farrell says, no, nice one, John Jr. I wish that woman would refrain from making announcements. Well, she has to make some announcements telling all of the competitors what ring to go to, what time their competition will start, because it's different colored belts, different ages. What I didn't like was her screaming into the microphone that loud and to sell t-shirts. That bugged me, you know. I mean, it was like, to me, it was like the competitors came second. T-shirt sales came first. And then we've got Revolving Toto. Welcome back. I wasn't going that long, guy. All right. Brian says, everyone I saw at this tournament was completely amazing. You're 100% right. He said he's hard-pressed to remember if he could move like that when he was 17. I don't think so. I don't think so either. David Bohannon says, looks like fun. It was. I'm a Junk Collector, wants me to do a video about military service. Not going to happen, guy. Vinyl 79. Good luck with the home renovations. The water can do a lot of damage. Brendan told me he watches a video series on YouTube It has to do with plumbing or something, and the plumber has repeatedly stated that water always wins. That's right. All right, let's go back and do the last video I did. All right, this is Mish-Mash 240, where I put the door in. It shows you where the rot was, and I took it out, put the door, actually got the flooring down, and fixed up all this with 2x4s. And we'll just start from the top. It says, Wayback Texas, I enjoy your housework videos. I don't do housework, Wayback. I do home repairs, okay? Tom MGB says, looks really nice. Learned something new about carpentry and French doors. So did I. They're a pain in the butt to have to replace. Ron C says, that looks like a lot of work, John. It is. Why weren't you up here doing it for me? He says, well, your wifey is one lucky gal. Yeah, well, not according to her. And no, he wants to know if once I do French doors, do we have to will I be doing videos in French? No. Hardly do it in English. Oh, Sky Carl, you need to go back to work to get some rest. You're right, buddy. Hey, for those of you thinking about retiring, there is no such thing as retirement. Take it from one who knows. TOAG says door looks fantastic. Yeah, they do look pretty good. The problem is the older houses weren't built with new doors in mind. Great job on the door, John. You're a jack of all trades. Robert Hartwick says, I don't know. It's a matter of necessity more than anything else. The old door was really sucked, leaking. It was a terrible piece of crap. We needed to do something. It says, it looks good. Way you can skull brain your way through things is inspirational. Well, you should see some of my flubs. You wouldn't be so inspired by those. Alma Junctor says, no screen, no bugs. No. You know why? Because we have central heat and air. And I don't need a screen door. They're nothing but a pain in the butt. And besides, Mac likes to scratch at them. Speaking of Mac, he's right down here next to me looking for a snacky. Let me shut this off and give him a snacky. All right, he wants his little snacky. He said, I went outside and went tinkle. So when he comes back in, he always likes to have a snack after he's had a little tinkle. Otherwise, he'll sit there and bark until I give him one. He's trained, or he's got me trained. I'm not sure which. All right, Vinyl 79 says, your projects are never simple nor easy. He's right. You're right. They get harder and harder as time goes on, I swear. And good luck with the new doors. Well, let's hope they stay until the day I croak. That's all this project needed to be done, long enough for the next guy to take over. Old 64 Goat. It says, it looks real good. You can come up here and redo old part of my shed. Forget it. You're the one that inspired me to do all this crap. You're the bad guy. He says, are your potatoes growing yet? Well, now you know. And then, of course, we got Jeffrey B. Jeffrey B. out there in West Virginia, I believe it is. He said, a wifey that pressures her husband the way yours does makes a good hubby. Well, now there's a saying for everyone to remember. Put that in a book, Jeffrey. Says, have you nailed your finger? No, I cut it. Of all times to cut my finger right in the middle of a project, I picked up a broken piece of ceramic floor tile and had a very sharp edge. And it just sliced into my little old finger like butter. I couldn't bleed it. I bled like a stuck pig. It still hurts a little bit. Maybe I can show you a little bit. So, look at that. I cut that sucker good, boy. She slashed right across there, real deep, too. It's been about 4 days, so I took the Band-Aid off, the bandages. I'm kind of hoping it won't bleed anymore. Zone 1242. John says, nice work, John. Another project. Almost ready to tick off the to-do list. There's never an end to the to-do list. Ansel again, nothing like things not running smoothly. Glad you worked out the fixes. Well, time will tell, my friend. Virginia again says, enjoyed watching. And Rod Smallwood, we're a bit different here in the UK. Our floors are 2 feet of reinforced concrete with no basement. Are you kidding? 2 feet reinforced? What do you live in, a tank? God, that's amazing. Steel City 321 PB said good choice of replacement doors. Actually, they were the cheapest. That's why I went with those. And since I didn't need a screen door, a vinyl door, a vinyl sliding door over here, a good one with a built-in screen, with blinds that you can sandwich between the glass that'll go up and down. That way you don't have to clean. You know, you just clean the outside of the glass. We're talking $1,200–$1,300. $1,200–$1,300 to walk through a door? I don't think so. All right, Lee Sanford, great job, John. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. David Buchanan, looks good, 73. Same to you, David. Jerry Rogers, looking good, John. Well, so far. Let's go to the next page and see what this offers us now. Dynamic 88, 1964, looking good, John. Love the new doors. Yeah, well, I didn't particularly care for the price, even though they were a little cheap. They were cheap relative to the price of other doors. Let's do it that way. Frank Patty Sr., great job, John, in the doors. By the way, I have a left side T-Bird plastic tail lens in my toy train room looking for a car. It's a long story. Well, let me tell you what's going on, Frank. I'd offer you some money for that, but I'm going to try to get my son and his wife. She come down the other day. I went to the karate tournament with her, and she said she noticed the broken taillight lens. And I said, yeah, you know, my birthday and Christmas is coming up. She says, oh, okay. So you're saying you could use some taillight lenses? I said, well, maybe. So we'll see what happens. We can buy all three of those. That's a 3-section taillight on that Thunderbird, and they're sold on eBay as a set. Maybe I can get the boy to do it. If not, well, we'll see what happens after that. John McDonald, nice work. You aren't afraid to tackle anything. Actually, John, it's the other way around. Everything's not afraid to tackle me. Gordon Cole, you have a real good job of those French doors. Are you sure you're not a carpenter? Yes, I am not a carpenter. If I make a mistake, you're not going to see it on eBay or on YouTube. You're not going to see it. Fortunately, I haven't made any mistakes yet of any significance except to cut my finger. Turkey Doodler's L, was that wifey's foot to the left, John, sitting on the deck? No, that was mine. Quite a project. Keep us posted. I will, says Sam I Am. He says he likes French style doors better than the sliding. Me too. You know, I don't know why. They just look cooler. They are a pain with the dogs, though. Every time the dog needs to go out, you got to get up and open the door, close the door behind them. Whereas with the sliding door, we could open it up, you know, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 inches or whatever, depending on the size of the door, and just let the drape hang down in front of it. They could come and go as they pleased. Bones 007 ABLE. It says those sliding doors do collect under the threshold. He had to replace not only his subfloor, but even some of his rim joists rotted out in his basements. Tell me, I know, that water, if you don't know the water's there, you got a severe problem, because by the time you discover it, it's already too late. This thing, you can bet this set of doors is getting caulked up like you wouldn't believe. Matter of fact, I'm going to do some mega overkill on caulking. I don't want any more water problems. I can't afford it. R. Gigliotti, or RG, I guess it's Gigliotti. Nice doors, John. Thanks. I didn't make them. I just put them in. That's it, guys. Until next time, we'll just call it quits for now. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Ramon is back. He's our good subscriber. I like, let me see. He's got a, let's get Ramon supported, Ramon Ortiz. Or, as they say in Spanish, Ramon Ortiz. Or Ramon Ortiz. I think he likes my Spanish. Good video, Ramon. Good to see you back, buddy. Until next time, this is John. For those of you who have watched our videos, you remember that every year we have these 2 Canadian geese that show up and they go around and float around in this guy's pond that he had put in there. And Corgi, our little Corgi, Rusty, those of you who watch the videos remember him. He used to sit in there and bark all day at those 2 geese. Well, this year they showed up and they've got 5 little babies. Wish I could zoom in a little closer, but I can't. But I think maybe you can see them. But they're a little gun shy, you know. They're just cute little things. They Mama stays at their, daddy stays at the front, and mama stays at the bottom, wherever they, or the back, whenever they go anywhere. And the goslings are in the middle. They just prance them all over the neighborhood here.